What's going on with you fellas? What's going on with you fellas? I'm not tired. It's my late Dolly. Dolly, you. Well, I'm so glad to be back. Another Sabbath day. Let's make sure the screen good. I hope that the YouTube don't cut off. Doesn't get all weird like last Shabbat. And those who was watching, thank you for your patience. You know, things happen when it comes to technology, when it comes to our own laptops and the Wi-Fi issues, and but yeah, praise y'all, man. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Y'all give me a second here to settle. All right, perfect. All right, perfect. Okay, perfect. How y'all doing today? Got no views yet, but it's okay. Sorry, I'm patient. So not about fame. Hopefully you guys having a good day. Good Sabbath. And hopefully you guys were able to watch the videos that I made. Thanks be to Yah only. And as y'all see the title, prayer. This is something I've never actually talked on. But the good thing is I did some teaching, studies on it. So that's a good thing, when I did some studies on it, I thought it was really cool to learn, about prayer. So hopefully this can be insightful for you all to learn how to pray. Now, there's a lot of people that have a mind of, may think, well, I know how to pray because, my grandmother taught me how, or granddad, mom, dad, that I have high respects for. But the thing is, what if what we've been taught had a mindset from religion? Okay, so we have tendencies where folks will say, doesn't matter how you pray, as long as you praying to God, right? But remember, there are different gods, different gods, deities, entities in the earth. There's probably 1 million, 2 million, maybe way more than that in the earth. Okay, so we're going to deal with these. We're going to deal with, we're going to deal with the proper way of prayer. And then we're going to expose the false ways of prayer. Okay. We're going to be dealing with the issues of praying to different deities, because guys, it is a very, very dangerous thing to do. Okay. It's very dangerous to talk to or pray to a deity. Fellas, I'm telling you, I've seen movies about this. I have seen reality about this. I was before used to pray to Jesus, okay, or to God. Now you may say, brother, I'm confused, because did you not pray to the Creator? Yes, but I prayed in error to the Creator. What I mean by that is I was not aware of His name. Okay, most of us have been aware that His name is God. Okay, God. Most of us, God. You say God. Okay, God, help me. God, thank you. Right. We're going to be doing positions of prayer. Okay. So, and you know what? I'm very glad this came to my spirit, because, I wanted to, deal with another subject about, do we go to a church? But my spirit got moved, I know it's by Yahuwah, to talk on prayer, because now we live in times where we have people, in cases that We got people that pray to, you know, um, presidents. You say, what? Let me give you an example. And and I'm not into politics, but with Trump, okay, I bet you people worship the man. They pray to him. Who knows? Okay, people pray. People pray in secret. Don't never know what they praying about, what they praying to. Okay, we have a lot of universal prayers, meaning we have a huge stock of people, and they pray in front of a pope. Am I right? Right? The pope, okay, he comes out in the high chamber, the Rome, in the Vatican in Rome. Is it not true that they have these candles, like the light thing, and they give honor and homage or pray to him, fellas. Okay. Now, I'm not trying to condemn anyone who is praying of their own detriment or their own flesh, their own desire. But at the same time, I'm going to have to give you the word. It's going to hurt, but it's worth it. Okay. Like they say, if you love someone, if you love people, you give them the truth. Am I right? And you live it. We love you guys. We don't mean any harm. But we do mean positive harm to y'all. But y'all get my point. You get the point, the drift, what I'm saying. So we have to go back and learn. We have to go back. We have to look back of how we should pray. Okay. I pray that that you all will be able to pray back to the creator that we don't see. We don't see him, to pray to him. Okay. I promise y'all it's the best of the best. Okay. I know I talk a lot. I know, of course, we'll pray and everything, but just give me a minute. Cause let me just say this. I've been with this precious mighty queen right beside of me over a year. And let me just say this. I prayed over my lady, okay, by the touching of hands. I think I touched her throat, not mistaken. Okay. And now, mind you, okay, this, what I'm wearing by my neck, this is not a pagan symbol. This is representation of Yahuwah's feasts and his name, right? I pray with this around my neck. Even though if I pray without it, it doesn't really matter. Represent his name. She had a problem with her throat. It was a sore throat. Every time she drinks something cold, that's a problem with throat. Okay, fellas, listen carefully. Okay. I prayed. We was in Chili's. We had a great damn day. We was wasted. Not like that, not getting drunk, but my terminology of having fun, wasted. So we had Chili's. I think it was Chili's. And Chicago Ridge, which is near where we live, a few minutes from there. So she had a problem with sore throat for a long time. Problem with throat. Prayed over her throat, and sooner or later, she's able to drink cold liquids, fellas. Now, females say, "What, man? Way to go, brother!" No, don't give me the prayer. Don't give me nothing. I don't want no praises. I don't want to get worshipped. Yahuwah gets all the praise. Yahuwah gets all the worship. You understand my point, fellas? That when you pray with a right mind, and you understand that the Creator, not the creation, okay, when you know who he is and you look up to him and you are confident, you're hopeful, he will answer your prayers. Now, we'll get on some what I call weak prayers, because people pray as you will for money, and no. We're going to deal with that today. We'll do a lot of things, okay? So the video might be 3 hours, it's not about me. This is the Sabbath day. This is a day of freedom. We do what we want to do in righteousness only, okay? Not in the flesh, so I'm not worried about the time, okay? We're going to deal with some problems on prayer, okay? My goodness, you even have celebrities that pray, and this is in vain, fellas, okay? So let's get on with the nitty gritty. Let's pray. Father, yeah, we want to thank you for this day. And once again, thank you for the Sabbath day. Father, those who watch on later and the persons watching right now, give them peace on today. Protect us, Father. Thank you for the words we spoken out. Father, may you just take over this time. Father, may you speak to my spirit. May you speak to my woman, Father. In the name of Yahushua, give you honor and praise. We thank you for shalom or peace. So be it. All right, so we want to go to 2 Timothy. Of course, some of y'all made a little chapter and verse. Okay, so 2 Timothy 3 and 16. Okay, 2 Timothy 3 and 16. Okay. Second Timothy 3 and 16. All right. Let's go ahead and find it carefully. Okay, it says, all scripture is given by inspiration of Yahuwah, right? And it is profitable for truth, for reproof or rebuke, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. The verse statement of the day of Sabbath. And let's go to Psalms chapter 100. Praise you, Lord. Psalms chapter 100 says what? It says, make a joyful noise to you, all you lands. Serve you with gladness, come before his presence with singing. Know you that Yah is the Lord, the mighty one. It is he that made us, right? Now we ourselves, we are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Then it says, enter to his gates with thanksgiving and to his courts with praise. Be thankful to him and favor his name. For Yah is good. His mercy is everlasting. His truth endures to all generations. Praise you, Lord. Okay, so technically, let me speak another testimony about prayer. Last night, me and my lady visited her in-laws, right? My dad, he had, stepdad had a very severe gas problem in his stomach, in his back. He had it for around 3 or 4 weeks, fellas, all right? So my mom called me up to their room. My lady was there watching TV. I touched my dad and rubbed his back, very lovely. And I prayed using his name. And now my dad is healed from the gastritis, the gas problem. Y'all see my point? Okay. Fellas, stop praying to deities. Pray to Yahuwah and he will answer you. He will hear you. You don't have to be fancy. Just pray. You can have dirty clothes on. He still hear you. As long as he look at your spirit, not what you he don't focus deeply of what you wearing. He focuses on your behavior. Okay, so I just want to put it out there. Okay, first we're going to talk about positions of prayer. Okay, we'll talk about the positive positions. Okay, so it's going to be flat out with scriptures. Now, you can actually sit down and pray. Let's go to Chronicles chapter 17. So we're going to do levels of the teaching of subjects on this, because this is very literal, type of subject. Okay. First Chronicles, like I said, chapter 17, right? so verses 16 to 27. Verses 16 to 27. All right, so First Chronicles, it says, verse 16, David, the king, came and sat before Yahuwah. There you go, sat. All right, let's keep going. And said, who am I, O Yahuwah, the mighty one, mighty one? What is my house that you have brought me there? Where to? Excuse me. And yet, this was a small thing in your eyes, O Yahuwah, for you have also spoken of your servant's house. For a great while to come and have regarded me according to the estate of a man's high degree. O Yahuwah, okay. Verse 18, what can you speak more to you for the honor of your servant? For you know your servant, O Yahuwah, verse 19, for your servant's sake, and according to your own heart, have you done all this this greatness, and make it known to these great things. Verse 20, O Yahuwah, there is none like unto you, neither is any Lord beside you, according to all that we have heard in our ears, with our ears. And what, verse 21, and what one nation in the earth is like your peoples, Bashrael, whom the Lord went to redeem to be his own people, to make your name of greatness and terribleness, by driving out nations from before your people, whom you have redeemed out of Egypt. Verse 22, for your people, Yashrael, did you make your own people forever, and you, Yahuwah, became their mighty one. Verse 23, therefore now, Yahuwah, let the thing that you have spoken concerning your servant and concerning his house be set up, established forever, and do as you have said. Verse 24, let it be established, set up, that your name be magnified or grown or strengthened forever. But saying Yahuwah is the mighty one of Yashrael, even the mighty one Yashrael. Let the house of David, your servant, be established for you. Verse 25, for you, O my Savior, or the mighty one, have told your servant that you will build him a house. Therefore your servant has found in his heart to pray for you. Verse 26, and now Yahuwah, you my Savior, the mighty one, and have promised this goodness to your servant. Verse 27, now therefore, let it please you to favor the house of your servant, and may before you favor, O Yahuwah. And it should be favored forever. Okay, so he sat and he prayed with praising Yahuwah. Okay, and he prayed with earnesty. Now, let's go to number 2. You can pray standing up. Let's go to Nehemiah or Nehemiah chapter 9. Okay, Nehemiah chapter 9. So like I said, we're dealing with levels of subject on this subject today, of prayer, positions. Then after that, we'll talk about who we pray to. Okay, you may say, brother, I know you, well, yeah, I know y'all, I pray to Yahuwah, but for you guys, okay, because some of y'all might want to learn who to really pray to. Okay, for some of you guys that may be religious or that you guys tired and you all want to know what the real truth is. I got you. All right. Okay, so chapter 9, verse 5, right? And after that, we go to the book of Mark after I read this verse. Okay. It says, verse 5 in Nehemiah, Nakamyahu. Then the Layum Yeshua and Kamel Bani, Chasoniah, Hodiah, excuse me, Shunayahu, and Pethakiah said, stand up and favor Yahuwah forever and ever, and favor your esteemed name, which is exalted above all favor and praise. Now, they stood up. And let me say this, when you see that it says, now I know it says bless in some of y'all translations. That's a pagan word. I'm gonna deal with that another time. I know y'all like, brother, you crazy. I am. But it's supposed to be favor or to honor. Okay, so when you honor the Father, you're praying to him, you're talking to him. You're not disrespecting him. We'll deal with that also. You got people that disrespect Yahuwah in prayer. Oh my goodness. We'll deal with that, man. Okay, like I said, this is not to beat on people. We just have to get back in the program, and we have to be righteous, man. We gotta pray with honesty, and you know, we have to pray with respect towards the Father. Let's go to Mark chapter 11. Another verse proving that you can actually stand up and pray. Okay, Mark 11, and let's go to verses 25. Oh, excuse me, my goodness. Okay. Another good verse. Okay. It says, when you stand praying, they go that stand word. When you stand praying, okay, forgive if you have aught against any, okay, that your Father, which is in salvation, Shamayahu, commonly called heaven, may forgive you for your sins or transgressions, fellas, okay? You can stand pray. And then let's go to Luke chapter 19, verse 13, 18, 13, sorry. All right, Luke 18, verse 13, okay? All right. Okay, 18, 13. You know, it's funny that you know, some people think we talking crazy, you know, when we talk to the Father standing and walking. Well, people need to understand they could be praying to the Father. You never know. I think so. Luke 18, verses 19, right? Not 13. It says, and the publican standing afar would not lift up so much as his eyes into the Shamayahu, but smote his breast, saying, Yahuwah, be merciful to me, a sinner. Okay, standing. Okay, the key word, standing or stand, in verse 13. Okay, we can pray walking, fellas. Let's go to the book of 2 Kings, chapter 4, verse 35. Yes, we can walk and pray. All right. And let me just say that what's so funny of this subject today is that I don't know if I'm wrong or right, you know, not to be wrong on purpose, but you know, I'm not saying button that one, sorry. And when it comes to religious institutions, most cases they've been taught to, you know, just pray before you go to bed. How y'all notice that? People taught to pray before they cook, do the cross symbol thing, but they have not been taught to pray in several positions if needed. Okay, so I was going to cover that up. All right, 2 Kings, chapter 4, verse 35. Okay. Then he returned and walked in the house to and fro, or back and forth, and went up and stretched himself upon him. And the child sneezed 7 times, and the child opened his eyes. Okay. So he walked, okay, stretched himself. So in other words, you get people that pray and can walk, and they can go ahead and do, let Yahuwah use you to heal someone. Okay, so you can actually do that. Now, this is an interesting one. Bowing down. Uh-oh. And I'm gonna get on the bowing again later on today to expose the negative, because we do get people, they bow down. Yeah, buddy, they bow down to statues and Christmas trees. They bow down to their own fellow man, husbands, wives. You get a man that bowed down before a woman that asks, "Can you marry me?" Are you kidding me? We're not to do that. Okay. Exodus 34, verse 8. Okay. Exodus 34 and 8. All right. Going to bow to the Father. Okay. Or some people may claim, say, kneeling. Now, folks may ask, well, brother, what if you just put your head down to someone? Like China. That's different. That's not bowing. They're just an honorable head, what do you call that? A head greeting. That's fine. Okay. I know people may say, oh, well, brother, you sound hypocritical. No, I don't. No, I do not. Because there's times that when I work at NRG, my customer service company, I kind of put my head down a little bit to honor the person. Nothing wrong with that. Give them a handshake. Nothing wrong with that, fellas. I promise you that. There's the difference between bowing but putting your head down. Just doing a greet. Nothing wrong with that. All right. Exodus 34 and 6. Right? No, it's 8. 8, verse 8. Moses made quick haste, right? And bowed his head toward the earth and praised Yah, or worshipped. Okay. So when you bow, it does give you more strength from Yahuwah and make you more humble, fellas. Did y'all know that? And you know what's funny about this? What's great about it? It's good to take your shoes off and bow to the Father. Did y'all know that? You're like, what? Yes. Powerful thing to do, man. Okay? Powerful. Very powerful. Take your shoes off. And Yahuwah told Moses in Exodus early on to take his shoes off his sandals. Okay? And Moses talked to the Father. He bowed to him. It's beautiful to do that. It's also beautiful when you take your shoes off and you have put on set apart music and you get quiet. You have your eyes closed towards Yahuwah. Beautiful. It's meditation or pray. All right. You guys should try this sometime. Nehemiah 8 and 6. Right back to that one again. All right. Nakum Yahu or Nehemiah. Okay. All right. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so verse 6, it says in Atzrah, for chapter 8, verse 6, in Atzrah, or Ezra, favored Yah, the great mighty one, and all the people answered, verily, verily,
or affirm, or so be it, with lifting up their hands, and they bowed their heads, fellas, okay, and worship or praise Jehovah with their faces to the ground. Okay, so remember, bowing is you pick your body and you go on your knees and put your back down, your head down, near the ground. Okay, very great. And then let's go to Psalm 72, chapter 72, verse 11. 72, verse 11. Right. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Yeah, all kings shall fall down before him, bowing. Right? All nations shall serve him. That's beautiful. Power. Right? Now we got with hands up. Now, let me just say this real quick. Interesting, because we have most people, they pray with their hands together like this, okay? That is a pagan movement. When people do this, they did that to sun gods. So it's like a traditional religious position of prayer. We are to never put our hands together and bow our heads to our hands together and pray. No, we're not supposed to do that. I know it's difficult for some of you because you've been brought up saying this is how you do it. But I'm sorry to tell you that that's not the way how to do it. Like I said, I'm getting out scriptures already about these things. Okay, now if you're still doing it, I can't condemn you. I'm not going to condemn you if you still do that. Okay. Second Chronicles. This is with your hands up in prayer, whether you stand or in kneeling. Okay, or if you bowing. Second Chronicles, chapter 6, verse 12 to verse 13. Okay. Second Chronicles. Further this way. Yes. All right. Chapter 6, verse 12. And verse 13. So verse 12 from chapter 6. And he stood up before the altar of Yah in the presence of all the assembly or the people Yashrael, and spread forth his hands. Okay? He spread his hands to the Father. Then it says in verse 13, for Solomon or Shulamah had great brazen scaffold, 5 cubits long, and 5 cubits broad, 3 cubits high, and he had set him into the court, and upon he stood, and kneeled down upon his knees for all the assembly Yashrael, and spread forth his hands towards him. You see what I said earlier? You can also be on your knees and have your hands spread. Okay, so the scripture even proclaim what I even said. Okay, so you can also do that. You can stand with your hands spread. You can be on your knees or kneeling with your hands spread, fellas. Okay, bowing down, that's fine. It's not a kind of lot of exercise because your arms get tired quicker. You do put more strenuous work on your elbow, your shoulder and arms, but okay. And Timothy chapter 2, verse 8. All right, Timothy 2, verse 8. Let's go see what that says. Timothy. Mr. Tim. Okay. Hopefully this give y'all some thoughts, insight regarding of this subject today. All right. Timothy 2 and 8 says, I would therefore that men pray everywhere, lifting up set apart hands. As you said, set apart hands. So that's what I'm going to get on later today, that prayer is only for those
righteous and for those who are sinners that want to get better. That's it and it alone. He was like, what, brother, really? Yep, yep. I'm sorry, guys, but those who don't know Yah, don't pray. Don't even do it. Because that's like, having your dad and you say, I love you, Dad. I like when you guide me, Dad, but you're not doing what your dad tell you to do, and you still say you love him. That's the same concept of those who against Yah but pray to him. That's ridiculous. That don't seem right. That's kind of weird. That's pretty weird. Okay? It's only for those who are righteous and those who are sinners, but pray, like have a mind to change their mind, meaning, Father, I know I'm messed up. Please help me, guide me, Yahuwah. What shall I do? I trust you. I need. That's what I'm talking. The sinner's prayer. All right. So once again, and it's a very good verse, a very beautiful verse to know. Okay. I would therefore that man pray everywhere. Okay. And by the way, when he talk about praying everywhere, okay, that also include a church. You're like, bro, I thought you said we can't. Well, I know I said that, but you can also pray in an institution. Now, I'm saying you can go to church. No. Let's say somebody invited us. Okay, you can pray in an institution if you're a visitor, not a member. Yeah, because when you say his name, people are like, man, what was his name again? You might get people out the institution. You might help them believe so they can be free from religion. You see my point? Okay. Pray everywhere, because Yahushua prayed in a synagogue, did he not? He prayed. I think he prayed and taught in the book of Mark, right? Lifting up your set apart hands. I'm glad he said that. Kadush hands. Now I know it says holy, but that's a pagan word. That came from a goddess named Helios. Okay? A goddess of false light. Okay? Helios. That's what Heli or Halo Halo or holy, Indian goddess in Hindu religion. Holy, Holi. Okay? That's where holy came from. Okay? Lifted up righteous or Kadush hands without anger and doubting. That's a good one. He even said without being mad. Listen, fellas, y'all know on the contrary, we get people lift their hands up with jealousy against somebody else and they still pray in hypocrisy. Did y'all know we get people that pray against people having their hands spread? Did y'all know people that practice voodooism that pray against their own fellow man? I'm preaching today. I am preaching today. Don't let anybody pray for y'all. By the way, I'm gonna get on that deceiving prayers. You got folks say they hate you. I pray for you, but they would hate you. Y'all ever notice that? Don't trust people that hate you 1 minute. Next month, I'll pray for you. Don't let them do it. You better ask Yahuwah to destroy the prayer. They're going to pray against you because they might be practicing witchcraft. You never know what they're doing. Kneeling, y'all. We can kneel to the Father. Acts 9:40. Acts chapter 9 verse 40. Acts chapter 9 verse 40. Acts 9:40. Or Acts of the followers or disciples, apostles. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we can kneel. Yeah, we can kneel. Okay. But Peter put them all forth and kneeled down. Look at that. So people were praying, people were kneeling. Okay. And prayed, turning him to the body and said, it's Yah, Siraya, arise. And she opened her eyes. And when she saw Peter, she sat up. Okay, kneeling. Luke chapter 22, verse 41. Okay, Luke 22, verse 41. Another one about kneeling. Kneeling. And he was verse 41. And he was
withdrawn from them or escaped, went away from them about a stone's cast and kneeled down and prayed. And guess who did this, folks? For some of y'all think that Yahusha is Yahuwah, which he's not. It was Yahusha that did that. He did it. Okay. Now, Atra. Did we go there already? I thought we did. No, we didn't. Atra, or Ezra, chapter 9, verse 5. Ezra 9, 5. Right? This is getting really good. Praise y'all, man. I don't know about you guys. Okay? Atra, or Ezra, chapter 9, verse 5. Okay? Okay. I want to express something. Listen, for some of you guys, that's dealing with depression and different problems, try one of these positions of prayer, man. Don't be a member of an institution. I have to sound blunt. Stay home, like be home. Be on your knees. Okay? Be on your knees. Ask Yahuwah to help you. I promise he'll be there for you. Have a humble mindset. Yes, anyway, Ezra 9:5. And after evening sacrifice, I rose up from my look at this. Depression or heaviness. Look at that. Y'all need to do that. Quit going to a psychiatrist. Quit going to a psychiatrist. Quit wasting millions of dollars on damn psychiatrists. Stop. Stop trying to go to a pastor for your help. This brother was depressed. He felt heavy. He had heaviness. He was heaviness. Okay. And having tore his garment and my mantle, I fell upon my knees and spread out my hands to Yahuwah. Fellas, I promise you, boy, I'm telling you, as long as you have confidence, you got to have confidence, though. You got to be loyal to him. You just can't pray now and not be loyal to him. He wants to be loyal to him and be on our knees. It can help you. I promise you that. All right, let's continue. And then we got First Kings, chapter 8, verse 54. Malacham Alaf, or First Kings, chapter 8, verse 54. Malakhum. Malach is quote unquote angel in Hebrew. Sorry. Alaf means first, so one. First, Okay. So chapter 8, verse 54. All right. And last one is laying down. You can also lay down to pray. Ain't that something? You can, or some people call it prostrate. You can lay down prostrate and pray and talk to the Father. Okay. First Kings 8:54. And it was so that when Solomon or Shulamite had made an end of praying, paused prayer supplication to Yahuwah, and he rose from before the altar of Yahuwah, from nearly down on his knees with his hands spread up to the firmament. See that? Okay, just keep going. And just keep going with itself, right? A lot of testimonies. A lot of evidence on this. Witness. Okay. All right. So we got that. Now, last one is prostrate or laying down on your stomach or your back.
okay, on your side. We got Joshua or Yahusha, chapter 7, verse 6, right? Got that. Joshua, chapter 7, verse 6. Right? Okay. It says, and Yahusha rent his clothes and fell to the earth upon his face before the ark of Yah until the evening. He and his elders of Yashrael and put dust upon their heads. And when people put dust on their heads, that means sorrow. They expressing sorrows or shame of humility. Okay. Humiliating themselves. All right. So he fell or laid down. And then we got Ezra, back to that book again, Ezra chapter 10, verse 1. Okay. Ezra 10 and 1. Let's keep it going here. Ezra 10 and 1 says, when Ezra had prayed, and when he had confessed, weeping and casting himself down before the house of Eloah, there assembled unto him out of Yashua a very great assembly of men, women, and children. For the people cried or wept very sore or hard. Okay. Casting himself or laying down, prostrate. Okay. All right. Matthew chapter 26, verse 39. All right. Then one more is Mark 14 and 35. Doesn't mean we're done. We are not done after this. Okay. There's positions here. Okay. Doing positions. Remember? All right. So Matthew 26, verse 39, Yahusha. Okay. Matthew 26:39. It says, and when he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, "Oh my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me, nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will." So even Yahusha lay down, he prostrated. Okay. Mark 14:35. Oh, excuse me. Mark 14, verse 35. And he went for a little and fell on the ground. See that? Once again. Just like Ezra, I think. I'm mistaken. Oh, yeah, Ezra. Okay, fell on the ground, prostrate, and prayed that if possible, that the hour might pass from him. Okay. And you know what's funny about that verse? The hour that passed from him, it was close to his death. He got afraid, but he hung in there and did it. Yahusha, okay, fellas. All right. The hour passed from him. All right. Now, let me just say this, okay? Let's go dealing with the kneeling and the bowing problems. Now I'm going to expose the false positions to deities that Yahuwah is really against. Stop trying to worship gods, fellas. Worship Yahuwah. Okay? I'm sorry, but I just have to sound mean today. Y'all think y'all deity is going to save you guys? Something that you see is going to help you? It doesn't move, so why are you kneeling to it? Let's go to Exodus 20. Remember, Yahuwah is jealous. Yahuwah has a perfect positive jealousy. You know why? He created the whole earth. Do you understand? He created the whole earth. Nobody else did.
He did a lot for his creation. We are part of the creation. We need to stop worshiping the damn creation and worship the spiritual one, the invisible one, Yahuwah. We're going to deal with curses and issues too, the side effects. Oh boy, this will be fun to talk about. Yeah. Did y'all know when we kneel to gods and goddesses, we have side effects of problems? Don't worry, we'll get on that. We'll get on it in a minute. Be patient with me. Exodus 20. Right? And let's go to verses 3. It says, you should not have no other deities or gods before me. So this is based on what? Bowing to the deities. Kneeling to the deities. We are not to do that. Okay? Yahuwah is life himself. He is the eternal one. He does not share his esteem to another. Let's prove that. Isaiah 45, verses 6 or 7. Why are we doing this, fellas? And Yahuwah does not share his power to another. And we bow to these damn deities thinking that they will save us. We are not to do that. And y'all might think, brother, what about the church? All the same concept. Yeah. Your Christian church, your Lutheran, okay, your Catholicism, they have, John and I have deities in that area, altar images, and y'all look into them, right? But y'all say I worship GOD, which is the same thing, right? Come on now. I gotta sound tough today. I'm sorry, I have to be tough today. No longer say nice guy. I get with the program, fellas. I'm just saying. If y'all like me, unsubscribe. I don't expect, listen, fella, like I said, I don't expect people to sit here and get million likes. Listen, as long as the word's put out there, y'all listen one day, great. And y'all get your life together, praise y'all. If y'all married, praise y'all. Get your life together with your wives, your wife, woman, your children, your generational family. Hey, get it done. Listen, Yahuwah don't got time for games, man. You don't got time for no damn games. I'm telling you. But this subject will be a little spooky today. When I get to the real deepness of false prayers and all that, y'all be like, dang, I need to start worshiping them. Yeah, you're going to have to stop. It's not worth it. I promise it's not worth it. This is why, for example, me and my lady, when we sleep together in our bed, we don't see demons in our apartment. We don't see dark spirits flying around our apartment. We never did. We don't see things. Now the enemy may bother us with nightmares. That's different, yeah, because he hates just you as people. But we don't see things in our apartment. Some of y'all see things in your apartment. Y'all see things in the attic. I know I'm right. Y'all see things in your basement. Y'all seeing shadow beings and weird ass objects flying in the air. Y'all need to stop talking to these deities, fellas. Quit doing that. I'm telling you, stop. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. I'm telling you. Yashayahu. Oh, okay. Forgive me. Sorry, honey. Verse 5. That's what to say. What does verse 5 say? See, I might see that and be like, well, I'm going to still worship my God. That's your decision. Go ahead. Well, I'm speaking what the word says. What does it say? I am Yah. I am the creator, right? The one who created the earth, the firmament, the one that gave us the food and plants, him, right? There's no one else. No one else. Okay?
No one else, especially y'all thinking that Yahusha is Yahuwah and Jesus is God. That too. That's not the case here. Some of y'all be praying to Jesus and praying to Yahusha. No, we're supposed to pray to Yahuwah only. Let's keep going, man. I'm Yahuwah. There's no one else besides me. There's no Elua besides me, right? There's no Savior. Only one, right? I girded or protected you through you. I wrapped you up, protected, gave you my righteousness. That's what he's saying, right? Though you have not known me. So we need to stop kneeling, bowing, sitting, standing, prostrating before deity, only to Yahuwah. We got people that claim they love Yah, but they worship another deity. Fellas, it's no joke. I'm telling you something today. What is wrong with our people? They worship some other deity, claim to keep the commandments. So Yahuwah knows that if we worship some other so-called savior, we kneeling and praying to it, our prayer is not going to be answered. It would never be answered. Satan will answer your prayers through false names and deities. Let me give you an example. Look at our Christianity people. I was there. You got folk praying, asking Yahuwah for a wife, asking Yahuwah, they use God, asking Yah for a husband. And they've been damn near single for 20 some years. Don't get a husband yet. Fellas, listen to me. We got folks asking Yah to heal their sickness, and they dying from sickness because they are praying to a deity, fellas, and they dying, and they haven't lived longer, fellas. I know this may sound tough, but I got to speak the real thing. Remember, I'm exposing false prayers now. False position, pause position to deities, fellas. Okay. We need to stop. Stop it. My grandmother died. Let me just say a testimony. I'm not talking a lot. My grandmother was a Catholic for 30 some years. Listen to me. Y'all, somebody say, brother, that sounds good. No, it does not sound good. It's just a damn quantity. There's no quality in that. There's no quality in that. There's no quality in that. You know what she do? And I heard it when I was a damn child. She prays the Mary prayer. Huh? And then she prayed with me in her institution. And now she passed away from diabetes and cancer. And y'all might say, well, it was meant to be. No, meant to be my ass. Because you know why? She was taught to eat anything from the church. Okay? My grandma ate pork, pork cracklers, pork ass, pork feet, pig feet, pig head, all that stuff. Huh? And talking to a deity. My cousin's mother, you understand? Well, Laretha, okay. When I was over there in Chicago, when I was young, grammar school, high school, she had a deity in her damn living room. The thing kind of moved when I was sleeping in her living room. It kind of moved at night. This is some real stuff I'm saying here. She had a dark black Hulk figurine in her living room as a piggy bank. Some of y'all need to get rid of y'all little piggy bank thing. Y'all have like a deity, like a Jesus piggy bank. These put money in there and all that. We are supposed to have in our apartment and praying to it. Okay, we're not supposed to be bound to these things. These things can cause all types of problems, big problems. You get movies
I'm gonna look at a scripture. Let me just talk here for a minute. Because there's a reason I'm saying these things. You even have my lady saying it. We've seen Exorcist. They tried to and you know what's funny? Exorcist is based on a true story. So they were tried to help the woman out to be free from demonic possession. And what did they have? Rosaries. They had a cross, crucifix, and they were talking to the deity, fellas, and it was not successful. This what happens when we bow into a deity or a figurine, and we think we are successful. So when people make supplications or prayers, they get side effects. Like I said earlier, the side effects people get is this: cancer, diabetes. Did y'all know that? Y'all might think, well, I don't have that. I'm 60. I don't got that. It's going to come. It's going to come. It's going to come. It's going to come. If y'all keep doing that, y'all have some type of, it might not be cancer, it might be something else. People have mood swings. People have attitude, like menopause attitudes. People get divorce syndrome. You're like, what? We mean divorce? Listen, did y'all know we got over 70% of divorce rate in America alone? And most of the divorce rates come from religious families. Something wrong with that picture, fellas. Yes. Religious families. It's always a divorce. It's always something. What that's called is identity crisis. You don't know who you are when you marry, and you're a Catholic. You know who the hell you really are. Okay? We got belligerency. People want to quit the fight, put their hands on each other. It's all from the powers of be when we worshiping these deities. People can climb walls and stuff. People can do. People can stretch their body like a damn jello. That's weird. Be like triple or quadruple jointed. That's kind of weird. People pray to yogaism. Yoga. Yeah, yeah. You like yoga? Yeah, yoga is demonic. What happens when you do yoga? You bend your knee. Fellas, please hear me out. Y'all do this, praying position. Y'all been sitting your ass. You got your knees from side to side. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You do this, you have your eyes closed, you meditate. You ain't praying to Yahuwah. You're not praying to Yahuwah. Yoga is a Hindu word. It's a Hindu term, which has to do with yoke, connection to a channel of demons. That's why people can do weird movements. That's why people have false peace. That's why people are wealthy doing yoga, but they don't have the call of Yah. And then you got people have their hands side to side praying. Come on now. Look, I never done it, but I've seen it. And I did little studies on it. So it came from this deity called Brahma, but they don't tell you that in the commercial, do they? And did y'all know these ninjas, these folks is into, animal boxing, Kwando, whatever you want to call that, they into yoga, fellas. Don't get me wrong, yoga is healthy naturally, but god damn it, don't do it. It is not what y'all think, because what happens too when you do yoga, when you praying, meditating, demons get into your chakra, your spine, and it will travel to your brain and cause you to never come to your. In cases like that, you will just stay where you are forever until you get you, the devil. Let's prove that. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 27, right? Ephesians 4:27. It's a broad path to bow and kneel, talk, whatever, to deities. You want to have side effects. You want to have some spiritual and psychological and neurological side effects to your brain. 3 major problems in the world. Okay. So it says, neither give place to the devil. Now, maybe a short verse. Give place or giving place, that means to yield to the devil. It means to kneel to the devil through his deities. Did y'all know that? You're giving place, so you're giving your life to him. You're going to his path, giving place, path. Get it? So when people are praying to deities and they follow them and they bow to them, they learn from them through doctrine, okay, as well. Okay, we are giving place to the devil through one of his helpers, which is deities, statues, shrines, certain people. They may be Druids, Catholic priests, pastors. I'm not going to be offended. It's okay. Speaking a real thing. It's okay. And what do they do for you all? They want y'all to who? Talk to the God they worship for you to worship them too, right? I used to go to church. I used to be a church goer, so I know what I'm talking about. They give you these instructions of what to do and how to pray. And they make it look like you are talking to an invisible creator, but you're really not. When people are using false names and they looking up to these deities, they hold on the rosary, these different idols. That's not pleasing Yahuwah. That's a dishonor towards him. Okay. That's why he said, I do not share my esteem to another. Yahuwah doesn't need help. He's one and one alone. Okay. I promise you that. He doesn't need us to be bowing to other gods, fellas. We got people have leprosy. Let me add that up. Let me add that. Leprosy. People's skin is disfigured. Their skin is all white. Let's say you Israelite, you got white skin, and upon your so-called black skin. We got women that's a man that's even white. They got skin all red, like pepperoni cheese pizza. Skin all red and shit. Get all types of problems, warts and viruses, that's the regular put it. They always got problems going on because they worshiping deities. I'm telling you, man. Let's go to, I'm trying to find a testimony like a story with this prophet too. You find it. See, I know some. Just settle my brain to look for one. Like I said, the best way to get y'all prayers answered, talk to the Father, talk to Yahuwah, and that's it. That's it. I'm sorry. talk to Yahuwah. Y'all, it's funny, y'all want y'all prayers answered all the time. Then learn to listen. Your pastor, your God, is not going to answer your prayer. He might use the devil to so-called answer your prayers, but deep down you're not joyful. Have you ever noticed that y'all pray and things do happen, you're not still joyful? Something's wrong with your prayer. Something's wrong. Let that sink in for a minute. Let's go to Acts. Let's go to Acts. I think that'd be a good one. Remember I was talking about side effects? Okay. So the Greeks had a side effect, and that was called having a menopause attitude. They wanted to harm Paul so bad, but they couldn't do it. Watch this. Watch this. And let me say this. When you pray, when you kneel down before a deity, you're channeling the spirit of that statue. Did y'all know that? Big or small. So what happens when you pray to it, talk to it, or you pray in your mind? Well, you can even pray against it, but loving it. In other words, let's say you're at the restaurant, the deity's not with you, but you talk as if you're in front of the deity, the language, you would still get side effects. You would come against those who love you. You would come against those who are into you. You would cut them off too. You would just hold around, probably prostituting. You might get a lot of money, and you might get miracles. Hey, you might do something. You just be as a sinner. I'm leaving it at that. Sinner in a different way, never thought of man. All right. Acts chapter.
Let's see. Acts 19, fellas. Acts 19. Okay. So, please listen to this carefully. Okay. You guys might learn something today. All right. So let's go ahead and get to this. You're going to have side effects. If you're kneeling down, praying, things like that, you're going to be in trouble. Okay? Verse 11. Yahuwah worked special miracles by the hands of Paul. Now, let me stop real quick because y'all think like, oh boy, that's something. Yeah, that's a great thing that Yah's did. Yah will give you miracles if you talk to him, if you pray to him, obey his word. If you have a need, he'll give you miracles, fellas. Trust and agree with that. Okay? He will do that. All right? Verse 12. So that from his body were brought into the sick handkerchiefs or aprons and disease apart from them. And evil spirit went out from them. So even Yahuwah can use a handkerchief to cast spirits out. That's a miracle, right? When you are righteous, you have your hand, you throw it to him. Let's keep going. Now, then certain vagabond, Jewish, quote unquote Jewish, Jewish, exorcists. Did we just not doing that earlier? We got exorcists here, right? Exorcists took upon them to call over them which had the evil spirit in the name of Yahushua. Now, let me stop real quick. These are people, they know the name of they know the name, right? But they don't love him. Look at this, right? They praying. This is called hypocrisy. We adjure you in Yahushua whom Paul preaches. That's what the exorcist says. So the exorcists, they are religious, but they know the Father's name, the Son's name, right? That's a problem. That's a big problem. And let me just say this. It is dangerous to pray to the Father and your mind is not right. Don't do that. The only prayer you want to do is ask God to forgive you and to help you with your issues before you want to ask Yahuwah to give you a religious family or a woman or to help you have children or to help you to move your environment, move some better environment, or to help you to have more knowledge. You want to deal with yourself first. Okay, we have a tendency where people kneel to the Father, but they still want to say it's a Christian, or they still want to say it's a Buddhist, or they still want to say it's a Catholic. Yahuwah is not going to hear from you. Please, hear me out. This word I'm saying is not a lie. He's not going to listen because he sees that you is not loving him. You're loving the deity more than him. Remember, Yahuwah is jealous. That's like having a wife and you tell your wife, honey, I love you, and you promise her that you'll give her best cake, right? On next day 6. But on day 6, you went to your mom's place and spent over her place, and you forgot about your wife. Interesting. What happens when you don't do that to your wife? You might get irritated or mad at you because you purposely forgot to give her the cake she wanted. That's the same analogy with you and Yahuwah. You claim that you love Yah, but you worshiping Mary, your deity. You're not going to hear what the hell you're going to tell him or what you're asking him for because your mind ain't right and you kneeling down to the goddamn deity. Only want you to kneel to him. And there were, verse 14, 7 sons of one Scabah, a Yahudi, was Jew. And the chief of the priests which did so, and the evil spirit answered and said, Yahushua I know, and Paul I know, but who are you? In other words, who are you to think that you can use your faith power and it ain't gonna work? Them demons give a side effect. You know what that is? We'll get there in a minute, real soon. And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them and overcame them and prevailed against them. They had a side effect of demon possession, fellas. The demons possessed them and ripped them naked. That is a scary thing. We don't want to play around with these deities. We're supposed to kneel and bow only to the Father Yahuwah. That's it. That's it. He created you, so why not you be a son or a daughter to him? Because he created us from our mother's womb. It's funny how life is, how these people are. They think they can just sit here and be born and forget about what Yahuwah did for you. You want to sit here and you want to hold around with another deity and pray to that deity? Huh? Or have more than one spiritual husband? For those who may understand more, more truth, okay, in the level, okay? What I mean by more than a spiritual husband, okay, is a deity. And you're like, what about me? You forgot about me, but I created you. You see why I say, I do not share my stain towards another? Isaiah 45, verse 5. They got a side effect. They got demon possessed and it ripped them naked, okay? It was a miraculous judgment upon these men. They did not have a mind of Yah. They did not have a mind of Yah, okay? But they were speaking the name. And let's go. Let's see here. Let's go to Jasher. Yeah, that's a good one. With Abraham's dad, Nahor. He was bowing down, kneeling down before his deity. Did he not? Get into that story real quick. And Abraham had to rebuke his dad. And his dad had a side effect of anger. Yes, he did. He was against his own son. Remember I said to y'all, when y'all worship gods, y'all gonna have side effects. This brother, Nahor, I think it's just his name, Abraham's dad, he had a side effect of like a menopause attitude. That brother lost his freaking mind. Okay. I'm telling you, these demons can get into your emotions, fella. It can stir you up. You don't want this stuff to get into your head, man. All right. That's what I tell y'all. Quit going to a psychiatrist and a pastor and quit doing yoga and talking to tarot cards and all this bullshit. Talk to Yahuwah. Okay. Bow to him. He will help your problems. It's going to work. I'm telling you, it's going to work. You got to have a relationship with him. You just can't just say, oh, Father, help me, and have a relationship with you. No. He wants to have a relationship with him. You understand? Okay? Your immersion, your confession of sins, all of that. Keep the commandments. He'll hear you all the time. I'm trying to tell y'all something, man. Can't be bowing down to other deities and praying to them. All right? Let me see. Jasher. Gotta be, let me see. Jasher is let me see. Oh, it's probably further back in the scriptures. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I figure it's kind of back over here. All right, almost there. Sarah. Very close to it. Count the beginning of the book. Okay. What's at the beginning of the book? It's starting to take a little while for us to make this on. Okay, so it's chapter 11, right? Yeah, chapter 11. Okay, so this is another important one. All right. Hopefully, you guys will get this. All right, because it's good to know this. And let me just say this real quick. You know, some of you guys are in abusive. Some of y'all are probably in an abusive relationship with your husbands or wives and parents. Yeah. Okay, because let me just say this too. When people worship gods, people become abusive. Oh, yeah. Did y'all know that? You become an abusive person. You abusing your son, daughter. Yeah, movies to prove that. Silent Hill, Silent Hill Revelation, I think. You have this movie called Misery. You have just to name a few. Anton Fisher. You know, a lady just saw recently. Okay, these things don't joke, man. They control your behavior, and in such a fashion that it can carry you to prison. Yes, people molesting own sons and grandsons. Yeah, man. Over when you highly religious, you can do things you never thought of doing. It controls your whole matter of thinking. You would lose consciousness. All right. They don't play around. Demons are actually evil like the devil is. That's remember, the devil's a father. The demons. All right. They work with him. All right. Let's see. Let's go read from the beginning of chapter 11. Let's do that. Nimrod, son of Cush, was still in the land of Shinar, and he reigned over and dwelt there. And he built cities in the land of Shinar. And these are names of the 4 cities which he built, and he called their names at the occurrences that happened to them in the building of the tower. And he called the first Babel, saying, because Yahuwah there confounded and confused the languages. Language of the confounded language, of the whole earth. Remember, the first language is Hebrew. Okay. And then the second was Iraq, because from there Yahuwah dispersed them or separated them, make them very divided. Okay. Third, he called Ahad, saying there was a great battle at the place. And the fourth he called Kalne, because his princes might have been were destroyed there or consumed, and they irritated or vexed Yahuwah. They rebelled and transgressed against him. Okay. And remember, Nimrod was religious too. So by the way, just keep that in mind. He was a governor. Okay. And when Nimrod, verse 5, had built these cities in the Shinar, he placed them in the remainder of his people and his princes, and a mighty man that were left in his kingdom. And Nimrod stood or stayed in Babel, or dwelt in Babel. And there, and he there renewed his reign over the rest of his subjects. And he reigned securely, and the subjects and princes of Nimrod called his name Raphael, saying that at the tower his princes and men fell through his means. And notwithstanding this, Nimrod did not return to Yahuwah. Okay, and he continued in wickedness and teaching wickedness to the sons of men, and Mardon his son was worse than his dad, and continued to add to abominations of his dad. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? So good. Listen, Nimrod was once okay with Yahuwah. He said he left Yah and taught wickedness to the people. Okay, remember I said earlier in the introduction that when we worship gods, okay, people even teach them how to worship their deity. For example, you have Catholicism; they teach about some moral laws. They do. Don't get me wrong, that's cool. Like Catholics teach you not to steal, not to murder, but they don't teach them to keep the Sabbath. They don't teach them to keep the feast days. They don't teach them about his name. They don't teach you what to eat. They don't teach you to only worship Yahweh only. They teach you worship Mary and Jesus, or Mary only, right? Y'all get the point. So it's kind of like with this situation. Okay, so the pastors, it's just like Nimrod. Okay, talk wickedness. Nimrod backslid against Yahuwah, and he wanted to be a leader. Okay, he wanted people to look up to Nimrod's deities and follow his teachings. Okay, and that's how it is in today's time with people today. No different. It's the same thing. That's where we get churches come in from that. Okay, these institutes, these temples, mosques, same thing. It may seem good. It may seem nice to you, but oh boy, it's wickedness in these buildings. Okay, and it caused sons of men to sin. See that? It caused them to sin. Why? It's a side effect. This is called a rebellious side effect. When you've been taught wrong, you become wrong. Hello. This is from false worshiping, false kneeling. You kneel into something you should be kneeling to. Bow to something you should be bowing to. Hello. Okay, I'm getting this. You have any questions? Okay, you're prostrated before someone and have nothing with you. Okay, this is real talk, man. Real talk. This is why we have reports at the church, Christian church, Catholicism church, we can name it, where it's always something about somebody got murdered, the pastor had an affair with the man's wife. It automatically happened. You haven't noticed that. You got these Catholic priests screwing these boys in the ass, right? Without the parents knowing it, but they found some reports on it. Okay, we got these nuns. They're not no freaking nuns. No, they some freaking hoes. Listen, hear me out. You got some nuns fall into fornication with the priest, but they won't tell you that. These nuns be horny as shit. Okay, y'all know what the nuns are. They can't make love to a husband, but they sure make love to the priest. Yep. It's like you're doing fornicated polygyny in that damn church. Why did the cathedral so damn big? Got these rooms and shit. You can't go inside of it. Okay, look these things up. Look up reports in your phone. Okay, these people is crazy. This all comes from when we bow down to these gods, we will lose control. I'm telling you, they got them rooms. It look cozy. Don't get me wrong. These big cathedrals. They got rooms and basement, and they got freaking stores, big ass stores rooms, and they got bedrooms in there for the shelter. Boy, they put them nuns in there. They be screwing them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Y'all think I'm crazy. Anyway, let's keep going. Verse 8. Cause sons of men to sin, therefore is said, from the wickedness go forth wickedness. So that means adding and adding. So he was adding sin to sin into the people. Verse 9. Okay, at that time there was war between the families of children of Ham, and they were dwelling in the cities where they had built. Verse 10. And Kedorlaomer, king of Elam, went away from the families of the children of Ham, and he fought with them, and he subdued or destroyed them. He went to the 5 cities of the plain, and he fought against them, and he destroyed them or subdued them, and they were under his control. His control, Nimrod. Nimrod is the governor. Nimrod is the pastor. Nimrod was the emperor. Okay, Nimrod was a president. In other words, their brother was, and he was political. All right, let's keep going. And they served him 12 years, and they gave him a yearly tax. And at that time died Nachor, son of Serug, and the 49th of life of Abram, son of Terah, and the 50th year of the life of Abram, son of Terah. His daddy was Terah. Sorry, God, I thought his name or okay. Abram came forth from the house of Noah and went to his dad's house. And mind you, Noah taught Abraham the word of Yah. Okay. Abram knew Yahuwah, and he went in the ways and instruction of Yahuwah, right? And it was with him. Why? And y'all know Abram was bowing to Yahuwah. Abram prostrated prior to Yahuwah. Okay, he bowed to Yahuwah. Okay, he probably walked and prayed to Yahuwah. Let's keep going. Okay, and Terah, his daddy, okay, was in those days still captain of the host of King Nimrod. Now that's a problem right there already. Okay, Terah worked with Nimrod when it comes to spiritual things. Okay, but it was negative. Let's just continue. And he followed strange gods. He followed strange Elohim, mean more than one God. Who did it? Terah. There's our another problem already. Let's continue. Verse 16. And Abram came to his dad's house and saw 12 deities. Oh my goodness. 12 gods? Damn. Woo. That brother was a hoe. He was a spiritual fornicator to rock. I bet you had money. He had miracle money. He had all type of things going on. He didn't want to leave these deities. All right. Look at that. And mind you, he can see them, right? He can see these deities. Verse 16, Abram came to his dad's house, saw 12 gods or Elohims standing there in the temples. All right. Who knows how big they were? It's probably like 10 feet, maybe 10 feet, 9 feet. Spooky little creatures type, statues, All right. Man, this is too much. This is deep. And the anger of Abram was hot, and he saw these images in their dad's home. Okay. Verse 17, Abram said, as Yahuwah lives, these images should not remain in my dad's home. So shall Yahuwah, who created me, do unto me in these days and time, I do not break them all. And I'm glad he said he created me. Y'all need to bow to Yah. He created you in your mother's womb. Okay? Fellas, if the women did not have blood, if they did not have a vagina, if they did not have a fallopian tube, etc., how can they have children for the children to worship Yahuwah? Yahuwah created the women, right? Oh my goodness. Verse 18, Abram went from them, and his anger was hot, burnt within him. Abram hastened and went from the chamber to his dad's outer court, and he found his dad sitting in the court, and all servants with him. He even had servants. Look at that. Abram came and sat before him, and Abram asked his dad, saying, Dad, tell me where is Yahuwah who created the firmament and the earth, and all the sons of man upon the earth who created you and me. And Terach answered, and son Abram said, Behold, those who created us are all with us in the house. Okay? You see how his answer kind of was like contradicted a little bit? He says in the house, but he brought up claim one creator. But he contradicted himself. What he was really telling him that he had deities in the house. If you pay attention to what he's answered, let's just pay attention to what he just really told his son. He contradicted his Amalek like he was speaking the truth. Let's read again. Answered his son and said, Behold, those who created us. See that? He says those. He said those. He said those. You know what he was trying to tell the son? He worshiped deities. He said those. He told himself. He told himself. Did y'all catch that? Okay? Those, right? Those. This is a funny story, man. It's sad too. Let me catch up. Those who created us. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking cotton pickle cheeseburger kidding me? Are all with us in the house. How can more than one so-called creator create human beings? Anyway, Abram said to his dad, my Lord, okay? By the way, when the people say my Lord, that's a figure of speech, of analogy of leadership, okay? Wives can call their husbands my Lord as well. That represents leadership, authority, master, husband, or daddy. Okay. Now some of them may be a little scared hearing that term, but that's what that is. All right. My Lord, show them to me, I pray you. Look at that. Terach brought Abraham to the chamber in the court, and Abram saw, and behold, the whole room, right, was full of gods made out of wood and stone. You know what that sound like, fellas? The museums. Like, brother, well, can we just still, you can still visit. Everyone visits a museum, but just don't worship the damn things. That's how he's shown to a museum. Don't museums have deities? Yes. Yes. Yes, they do. I bet you money. Some people that go visit museums, they bow down to it. They worship the damn some statues. They're master of their religion. 12 great images and other less than they without number. Hear me out. And Terach said to his son, behold, these
are they which made all of you upon the earth. Are you freaking kidding me? Which created me and you and all mankind. Are you freaking kidding me? They can't move. And by the way, when people worship gods, they worship gods that have some related to the stars or religion. Let me give you a demonstration for a minute. Look at your horoscopes and look at the birthday. Did y'all know there are deities behind that named Atalia? They have deities. They have goddesses of Atalia that people worship. Santa Claus is part of the star. Okay, the zodiac, which is December, quote unquote. Don't get too deep on it. So these deities are part of the stars, the star of the seasons. Okay, so I was going to let you know about that. We worship star type version deities. Like when I said earlier about that, when people worship Jesus, that's the star god. That's the solar Messiah, solar star, sun. You get it? Sun. It's the biggest star of the planet. We've been in science class. I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from. The sun is the biggest star on the earth. All right, it's real high and it gives us light. All right, okay. Torah bow down to his God. Okay, not Yahuwah. Y'all think God? No, it's not Yahuwah. Yahuwah is not God. That's a deity. No, Yahuwah is a savior. He's a father, eternal one. All right. Torah bow down to his deity, his God. Okay, and he went away from them. Abram, his son, went away with him. And when Abram had gone from them, he went to his mother and sat before her. And he said to his mother, behold, my dad has shown me those who made the firmament and the earth and all the sons of men. Now therefore hasten, fetch me a goat or a baby goat or a kid from the flock and made it of savory meat that we made to my dad's Elohim as an offering for them to eat. Perhaps I may therefore become acceptable to them. Way to go, Abram. Yeah, he was testing them to see if they can eat the meal, which is pretty interesting, right? All right. He was testing his dad. All right. His mother did so, and she fetched a baby goat or a kid and made savory meat thereof and brought it to Abram. And Abram took the savory meat from his mother and brought it for his dad's gods, right? And he drew near or nigh to them that they might eat. And Terach his dad did not know of it. And Abram saw that day when he was sitting amongst them, that they had no voice, no hearing, no motion, and not one of them could stretch forth his hand to eat. Okay, all right. Abraham mocked them, saying, and said, surely the same meat that I prepare has not pleased them, or perhaps it was too little for them, and for that reason they will not eat. Therefore tomorrow I'll prepare a fresh savory meat better and more plentiful than this, in order that I may see the result. And it was the next day that Abram directed his mother concerning the savory meat, and his mother rose and fetched 3 fine baby goats or kids from the flock, and she made of them some excellent savory meat, and such as her son was fond of. She gave it to her son Abram, and Terach his dad did not know it. Okay, look at that. And Abram took the savory meat from his mother and brought it before his dad's Elohims into the chamber, and came near to them that they might eat. And he placed for them, and Abram set before them all day, thinking perhaps they might eat. And Abram viewed them, and behold, they had neither voice nor hearing, nor the one of the stretched forth his hand to the meat to eat. And in the evening of that day, and the house of Abram was clothed with the Ruach Alua. In other words, Abram was clothed in righteousness. Look at that. And he called out and said, woe unto my daddy, and this wicked generation whose hearts are inclined to vanity, who serve these idols of wood and stone, which can neither eat, smell, hear, or speak, who have mouths without speech, eyes without sight, eyes without hearing, hands without feeling, and legs which cannot move like them, and are those that are made them and that trust in them. Do y'all get my point? Do y'all get my point? You see, when people worship these things like this, which is reality, people become lazy. People have a side effect of laziness. People have a side effect of philosophy, which is human knowledge. People have a side effect of getting attitude. People have a side effect to want to fight you and say no to you and don't want to get immersed in Yahusha, do not want to repent, but live dirty.
People are desperate for Christmas to come every freaking year. Easter, when it comes to their deities, they look into those type of holidays. People fornicate, get pregnant, and then they teach their children to worship their deities. Fellas, I'm not lying. Stop bowing to these damn deities. It's not worth it. Stop praying, acting like you love Yahuwah, but you love your deity. Admit the truth. And you know, people trip me out. They say we worship the same God. It don't matter. No, that's bullshit. You worship some different. No, you worship another deity versus me worshiping Yahuwah. We don't worship the same one. Let's get going. Shame on this man's dad, Terach. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Verse 33. And when Abram saw all these things, his anger was hot again, or kindled. And what does kindled mean? Hot. Fire lit. That's what that is. Hot. Fire lit. Okay. Was kindled against his dad, and he was quick or hastened and took a hatchet in his hand and came into the chamber of the Elohim, or the deity, right? And he broke all his dad's deities. Now you ask, why did he break his dad's deities? Because Abram knew that those deities had nothing about Yah, no power, no life, nothing. They can't move. So he broke them. But let's continue. He broke them, right? Verse 34, and when he had done breaking his images, he placed a hatchet in his hand of the great Elohim, okay? And remember, Elohim means more than one God, which was there before them. And he went out, and Terach, his dad, came home, for he had heard at the door the sound of the striking of the hatchet. So Terach came into the house to know what this was about. And Terach, okay, having heard the noise of the hatchet in the room of the images, ran to the room to the images, and he met Abram going out, and Terach entered the room and found all the idols fallen down and broken, and the hatchet in the hand of the largest, which was not broken, and the savory meat which Abram his son had made was still before them. And when Terach saw this, his anger was very hot, and that's the side effect. He had a side effect of what? Deep demonic anger, fellas. Okay. And verse 37, and he had hastened, went from the room to Abram, and he found Abram's son sitting in the house. He said to him, what is this work you done to my gods? Uh-oh. Right? And Abram answered Terach his dad and said, not so, my lord, for I brought savory before them. And when I came near to them with the meat, that they might eat, they all at once stretched forth their hands to eat before the great one, and put forth his hand to eat. Now we know he lied for a good reason, Abram, right? Verse 40, and the large one saw their works that they did before him, and his anger was violently kindled or hot against them. And he went and took the hatchet that was in the house, and came to them and broke all of them. And behold, the hatchet is yet in his hand, as you see. Terach anger was kindled against his son Abram when he spoke this, and Terach said to Abram his son in his anger, what is this tale that you have told, or story? You speak lies to me. Is there in Yahuwah's spirit, soul, and power to do all that you have told me? Are they not wood and stone? Have I not myself made them? And can you speak such lies, saying that the large God that was with them smote them? It is you that did it is you that did place a hatchet in his hands, and then say he smote them all. And Abram answered his dad and said to him, how can you then serve these idols in whom there is no power to do anything? Good point, what Abram's asking. Can these idols in which you trust deliver you? My goodness. Let's continue.
Can they hear your prayers when you call upon them? My God, this is what I'm talking about. This is what we need to bow to Yahuwah only. He asked, can they hear your prayers? Can they hear your prayers? Do y'all need more information to prove a point? He asked, can they hear you what you got to say? Do they hear what you're saying? This is why our prayers is not answered. Fellas, this is why our prayers is not answered. We're talking to the wrong deity. We're not keeping his commandments. Man, let's keep going. Can they hear your prayers? Look at that. When you call upon them, false names. False names, right? When you call upon them. Can they deliver you from the hands of your enemies? Or will they fight your battles for you against your enemies? That you should serve wood and stone, which cannot speak or hear. Good points. Right. And now surely it is not good for you, nor for the sons of men that are connected with you to do such things. Are you so silly, so foolish, or so short of understanding that you would serve wood and stone and do after this manner? Well, Abram is on his dad, boy, like round rice, boy. Let's see, go verse 45. And forget Yahuwah. Forget Yahuwah, right? And forget Yahuwah, who made the firmament and earth, right? Quote, heaven and earth. Because mind you, forget means to rebel or to be hindered, to forget someone, right? Who created you in the earth and thereby bring a great evil upon your souls in this matter of service, stone and wood. Man, this is really good. Did not our dads and days of old sin in this matter? Right? He asked it, did not sin in them. When I said earlier, y'all, when you guys worship the deity, you guys will have side effects. I'm telling you. Y'all have a sinful problem, addictions, problems that you didn't really do an ass for, but you allowed it. And then the devil is going to predestine you to be burnt up with him. All right? Yeah. And thereby bring a great evil upon your souls in this manner by serving stone and wood. Did not our dads and days of old sin in this manner, and Yahuwah of the universe brought the waters of flood upon them and destroyed the whole earth? He was asking the question. He was bringing us up in the book of Genesis. There was a flood in Genesis because people were doing wickedness. Folks did not worship God, so people were actually being disobedient. Okay, let's get on with this, man. Verse 47. How can you continue to do this and serve Elohim, one God, one stone, who cannot hear speak, living from oppression? Thereby bringing down the anger of Yahuwah of the universe upon you. Now therefore, my dad, refrain from this and bring down evil upon your soul, and your sons, and the sons of your household. And Abram hastened to spring from before his dad and took the hatch from his dad's largest idol with which Abram broke it and ran away. Terah, seeing how Abraham had done, hastened to go from his house, and he went to the king. And he came before Nimrod, stood before him, and he bowed down to the king. And the king said, what do you want? You know, this fella, are y'all getting this? Are y'all getting this? Look, the man went to Nimrod, the enemy. The dude didn't go to Yahuwah to repent. He went to Nimrod, the governor. He went to him. Okay. And he bowed before the brother. Imagine, he bowed for Nimrod. You see, this
this reminds me of people today where, let's say you're interested in somebody. Let's say you're interested in whether, you're male, female, whatever, and they're religious, and you have you in your life. But this person you're interested in, y'all work together. Now, let's hear me out. You preaching to the person that you like. The person's listening. Y'all in a break room. Y'all go back to work, and then guess what? The person reports to the boss against you because you're preaching to the person that got fired. See, this kind of reminded me of this situation. Right? This dude had a side effect of being an asshole against his son over because he was demonically possessed. Remember, when you worshiping when you worshiping deities, you will lose consciousness. You will lose your ability to do right. You will do wrong against those who are innocent. Okay. No different relationships. Oh man, like let me give you another category of relationships. Supposedly you're married to somebody and she's a Catholic, and let's say you gave her a chance, she claims she loves you, you got her pregnant, you got a baby, right? 2 years later, she divorced you because she realized that she says, it's not working out. He asked, why, honey? She said, we just need to be our separate ways, but y'all got a baby 2 years ago. Listen, now she tortured you with child support. Fellas, are you hear what I'm saying? She really said, it's just that because you into this Yahuwah thing, and I'm afraid, I think I made a mistake. I talked to my parents about you. They don't like you anymore. And they threaten you and saying, if you try to talk to me, they call the cops. Fellas, are y'all hear what I'm saying? Are y'all hear what I'm saying today? People will get you in trouble over Yahuwah. Do you understand me? Even you relate with somebody, they will tell on their parents and hope they will put you to jail. Do you hear me? They put you on child support. They will torture your name. They will expose you on Facebook. I'm telling you, when you alone bow to Yahuwah, but they bow to a deity, they get you pregnant. Listen, you get her pregnant, or a woman, righteous woman, you interested in the man that's religious. He's sharing your name, whatever. Now you in a situation. Shalom, Bob. What's going on? Thank you. You in a situation. You're like, man, I tried everything, and you just like, oh my. Side effect. It's a side effect. They will put you in war, man. Demons operate through the person to mess you up. Okay? That's why he said, test the spirit to see the of Yah. You see what I'm saying? People will get you in trouble, man. Boy, they will get you in trouble. They will get you in this. You could be the nicest person into Yahuwah. They know you bow down to him. And then you got people that act like, listen, they act like they're interested. They know they bow down to Devaki or Krishna or different deities. They know that. They know that. But what they're doing is they manipulate it into your life. Okay, like Jezebel, right? They get pregnant by you, blah, blah, blah. And see, this situation that I read, remember what I'm saying right now. He went to Nimrod. Listen, the dude bowed to Nimrod. He bowed to Nimrod. Let's continue. This is getting too deep, man. Remember, the subject is called prayer. We are not to pray to different people, different deities. Right? So let's continue. He bowed down to the king. The king says, what do you want? Verse 51. He said, I beseech you, my Lord, to hear me. Now, 50 years back, a child was born to me. So Abram was 50. Interesting. Wow, he was 50 years old. And thus he has done to my Elohim. Remember, that means more than one God. Okay, Elohim. And thus he has spoken. Now, therefore, my Lord and King,
Send for him that he may come before you and judge him according to the law. Look at this. Look at this. That we may be delivered from this his evil. Are you kidding me? So what he's saying is, I want you to murder my son. I want you to either murder him or take him to prison because he did evil against me, oh Nimrod, oh leader, oh prime minister. Side effect. Let's not bow to deities because I said before, I'm going to say it again. People will abuse their own children. He wanted his son to get freaking murdered because he told Tarak, his daddy, about the truth and he wouldn't listen. He got mad at him. He had 12 deities in his damn chamber. In his chamber. We got, like I said, we got people like that today's time. We got daughters that get abused by dad and mom, emotionally and physically, over a man of Yah. Oh, did y'all know that? Y'all do. You may have a woman that's interested in a brother. She may be 19 years old. He could be 27. He got his own house or apartment, got a vehicle. She want to be with the dude. She want to carry his babies. But the dad is stopping her because she left Catholicism. They hate that, but they still controlling her in hopes that she come back to Catholicism to bow down to Mary, but she'll bow down to Yahuwah. But the parents are zombies from Resident Evil. They keep stopping her, right? And now the daddy is putting his hands on the daughter. Fella, I'm not lying to you. You got parents that abuse their daughters over Yahuwah, over the interest in the man of Yah or the woman of Yah. They will abuse their daughters and sons. You think I'm joking around? Pay attention to the world. Pay attention. Beware when people say, yeah, no, I don't go outside a lot. I be mostly at home. Be careful with that. Because what they're really saying, they don't want to tell you what's really going on. What they're really saying, they're being abused. Hello? Hello? They're being abused in some cases. When they say, yeah, I live with my parents, I'm 28, and they better be outside, and they submissive to you real quick, old man, old brother of Yah. She want to be with you as a wife. But when she say, I'm mostly inside the home, it's going to be hard for you to get her. Because the parents keep bowing down to their damn deity. And it's putting her in trouble. And she's in prison in her parents. Same thing with the son. There's a movie, me and my lady seen. It's called The People Underneath the Stairs. You probably remember the movie you saw, but you probably remember, honey. Watch that movie, y'all get a chance. The People Under the Stairs. An old classic movie back in the mid-90s. This white lady, I forgot her name. And this dude came in, this is in California. This house, listen to me. They had a nasty big house. This dude was eating, he was in cannibalism. He was eating humans and stuff. And down the basement, they had these zombie characters, right? Man, long story short, the white, beautiful young lady, she couldn't even leave the house. Listen, she haven't left the house in 14, 15 years, right? Her parents were foster parents. You know what the dad do to her? Abuse her. But when that young man came, she was submissive to him. She wanted to follow him to escape in the house. It was difficult, and they tried to come after that young man. You see, that's how parents are. Some of them, when they worship these deities, huh? And they come after their own freaking children. They don't care what you want, they'll still come after you. They want to make sure you are smashed into the devil. Do you understand me? Even when they read the word of God, they come to them like, why are you reading that for? Give me that book. They will take it from you. Huh? They will come against you. But they want to act all righteous outside of public, act like they cool. But they have an issue. You have a problem with the audio, Bob? Okay, brother, some people have a problem with the audio. My apologies. Yeah, I'm so sorry, man. Yeah, audio ain't this not the best. Yeah, thanks for being honest with me. I pray this audio will fix him. So they act like they okay in public. They act like they okay in public. They all, hey, how you doing? Oh, my daughter's fine, but deep down they abusing their daughter.
That's called put on the facade. They put the mask on. The mask will be nice, but when they're at home, they just abusing their daughter. It happens. It happens. And this gentleman here, Tarot, reminds me of people like that today. That's what we do with prayer. We get side effects, fellas. We get leeches upon us. Leeches. A figure of speech. Leech. We don't act like ourselves. And then here's the thing. On the contrary, we even got sons and daughters that get sell mom and dad. Ah, that's even worse. The daughter says, I want you to be with him. You left me. You left me. You don't love me no more. You evil, mom. You followed Yahuwah. You used to follow Jesus. And mom trying to explain. She won't listen. And then when she have a righteous man of Yah, the mother. Now look. Now the daughter's son hate the dad. Hate the new man that's in life. And the man is righteous. The man want to lead her children, or her daughter, or her son. They don't want that side effect because the children has a deity. They worship the deity. Okay, they worship a deity. Remember, demons, they have power. So they can change you without you change. They can change you. Puppet. They can change you like a robot. I'm telling you. I was there, man. You know, when I was a Christian, I was out there. I had sexual problems. I had masturbation problems. I was watching porn up the butt, boy. I'm telling you. But the Father freed me. These demons ain't no punk. They will get you. They will tear you up. When we praying to a wrong thing, and we talking about it, and we trusting it, man, you ain't got no chance of salvation. I'm sorry. You ain't gonna be saving nothing. You're gonna be sitting up with fire in front of you all for your life. And then you want to beg you back. No, it's too late. You had a chance to listen. Let's get going. I know I talk a lot, but this just got my attention what he did. Right? I'm kind of breaking a sweat. Damn. So verse 52, and the king sent 3 men of his servants, and they went and brought Abram before the king. And Nimrod and all his princes and servants were that day sent before him, and Tirah also sat before them. Right? And the king said to Abram, what is this that you have done to your dad, to his gods? Oh, moly. Right? Look at this. So they brought him up there for Nimrod, Abram, right? Let's continue with this. All right. Abram said, the king in the words, they spoke to his dad. He said, the large deity, okay, that was with them in the house did to them what you have heard. And the king said to Abram, have they power to speak to and eat and do as you have said? And Abram answered the king and said, if there be no power in them, why do you serve them and cause the sons of men to sin or err, right? Through your foolishness or your follies, right? Do you imagine that they can deliver you or do anything small or great that you should serve them? And why would not, since Yahuwah, the whole universe who created you and whose power is to kill and to keep alive, right? Oh, foolish, simple, ignorant king, woe to you forever. Verse 57. I thought you would teach your servants the upright way, but you have not done this. But you have filled the whole earth with your sins, and it says your people who have followed your ways. Now, Abram did a great job. Abram was not afraid. Abram was talking like that to the king, fellas. He talked that to Nimrod. Damn. He wasn't afraid of that big dude. Abram wasn't no punk. Let me tell you something, man. When y'all worship Yahuwah, man, Yahuwah give you boldness. Do you hear me? You not be afraid to teach anybody. You will not be afraid to die for Yahuwah. You understand? All right. You will go. You will do what you need to do when Yahuwah leads you what to do. Okay. You're not afraid to be a man. You're not afraid to be a woman. Okay. You're not afraid to stand up for the truth. You're not gonna be afraid to be. You're not gonna be afraid of your boss. For let's say, for example, well, I want you to work on the Sabbath. She said, I ain't doing it. I ain't working on the Sabbath. You're fired. Okay, thank you. She's not afraid. She said, "Falls on you, and you will favor her with a set apart husband. They got money, and now she got who at work. She ain't worried about anything, or who has favored her with a good business or a good job. Then will strengthen her strength, making more income than her previous job, and off Sabbath and work on 2-3 days a week, averaging $3,000 a week, just like that. See, or whatever." Verse 58, do you not know or have you not heard that this evil what you do, our ancestors sinned there in the days of old? Side effect, right? An eternal Lord brought the water of the flood upon them and destroyed them all. The flood, Genesis chapter 7, right? And also the whole earth on their account or your responsibilities. Remember, when you have side effect, that's really saying your behavior is out of whack. Your behavior is corrupted, okay? Remember, they will dirty you up, these spirits. All right, will you worship them? Okay, and will you and your people rise up now and to do like into this work in order to bring down the anger of you of the universe, and to bring evil upon you and the whole earth, and therefore put away this evil deed which you do and serve Yahuwah of the universe. Oh boy, he talking to him like that. Hey, reminded me so much of Joseph. He reminded me of Joseph. Yeah, I love that. Praise you, man. He wasn't afraid to talk to his brother like that. An emperor? Oh my goodness. Some of y'all might do that. Can you imagine you talk to your president like that? Talk to Joe Biden? Like, Joe Biden, I command you, brothers, to repent of your sin. I would. I wouldn't be afraid to tell him the truth. He's just a human. He do and pee like we do. Some of y'all know the nature. Y'all talk to the prime ministers like that? Okay, anyway, keep going. All right. Verse 29. Therefore, put his evil deed which you do and serve Yahuwah of the universe, as your soul is in his hand, and then we dwell with you. And if your wicked heart will not hearken or listen to our words, to cause you to forsake the will, to cause you to forsake your evil ways, and to serve the eternal Yahuwah, then will you die in the shame in the latter days, you and your people, your people and all who are connected with you, hearing your words and walking your evil ways. And when Abram had stopped speaking for the king and princes, Abram lifted up his eyes to the firmament, and he said, "You will see them, and he would judge them." All right. So, fellas, a lot went on in this story. A lot. Okay. A lot went on. So what I seen was side effects of the dad. He was very angry. And he wanted in hopes that his son to be murdered. He wanted his son murdered or to be executed in judgment prison. Okay. And we know that Tirach had 12 deities in his chamber, in his room. So he was worshiping them probably for a long time. Okay. So it's a great story for y'all to read, Jasher. And it's having a conjunction in Genesis. So there's more of a story behind Genesis. Okay. Another thing, too, that when people worship, when people bow down to deities like this, they become what's called zombies. Zombies are people that they will eat up people. They will also come against their own family. They will force you not to get married to a righteous person. They will gossip about you. They will expose you on Facebook, Instagram. They would steal something from you. They will try to destroy your home. They will give you false advice. They give you false validation. Just to make you feel down. They will manipulate you. They will end your friendship. They will turn their backs on you or be traitors. They will not help you with money if you need it to pay a bill. If you lost your job, they want to help you with food, drink, if you need that. They want to help your children. All because you came to Yahuwah. But if you come and leave Yah and come back to their religion, they will help you. That's a figured thing, figure speech. of being a zombie. Okay, that's being a zombie. Okay, and y'all don't want to be around zombies. So, like I said, praying, have a channel. Okay, people that's into witchcraft, that's into seance, that's into psychic reading, fellas, they pray too. Did y'all know that? They pray. Mediums, they pray. They pray to something else. They summon demons to them, and it gives them money, a lot of power, a lot of advantages. Okay, that's why you notice when you go to the room, you have an appointment with the witch or the medium, okay, or the necromancer, some people call it. They say, "Hold on," and they go into the other door. Okay, they have a lot. They have a lot of that in New York. They have probably some here. They got some here in Illinois, where we live at. Okay, they will go right into that door. It'll be a while, and they'll come back, and they say, "Come on in," right? And they just hum and hum and hum, and they will see, I see this going in your life. I see this going in your life. You got to do this in your life. You have to do that in your life. And guess what? You do it, and you get a major, major side effect. Now you're going to be seeing things in your home. You're going to be seeing things going to creep you out. You're going to leave and want to live somewhere else. Fellas, be careful. Repent, because it's not worth it. There are stories where when people do this, they have experienced deep things. I've heard that people in the woods, okay, people that pray to different deities were snatched in the woods, fellas. I'm not lying. People have been through some things, man, been through some stuff in the woods. Okay. Am I saying that going to the woods you get snatched up? No, I'm not saying that. I mean, you can be into Yahuwah, be in the woods, you're okay. I'm not saying that, but I'm talking about people that have a mindset of like, hey, I got a God, I got a religion, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But people wound up having some bad situations, very scary situations. That's why people have cold cases where the case has not been solved. We got people still missing from the woods. You can name it, like dark alleys, because what we praying to. Now, y'all may say, well, brother, what if the person is religious? Well, there could be a psycho, a crazy guy, or a crazy woman. So we have to look at the big picture, who we praying to. We don't want to just pray and that's it. All right, we gotta be careful, man. Okay, let's get some scriptures on side effects for people. Let's go to the book of Proverbs. Like I said, he won't hear you. He won't hear you. Let's go profile that. All right. Hopefully, this can help you guys to excuse me, to get inspired. Regardless of the subject today. All right. So let's go ahead and go to Proverbs chapter 28. I think that's the verse. Okay. So it is. All right. It is. All right. Then with prayer today, like I said, right? It says in verse 9, very good verse. And hopefully you all be like, I need to really get better. I need to really repent. Says that he or she that turns away his ear from hearing the Torah, the commandments, even his or her prayer shall be an abomination. Good verse. So we know abomination has to do with disgusting, something that's unacceptable. So what they're saying is, if we're talking to Yahuwah, we asking him to favor us and all that, but we living in sin, he's not going to hear what you got to sell him. Okay, that's what it's saying. They were like, well, bro, I think you're talking about those who talk to different deities. Yeah, I am, but this is something kind of relatable, because you can have people that pray to a deity, but then worship the Father, and that's not how Yahuwah works.
You can keep the feast days and still worship another deity. Did you know that? He's not here from you. And you know what's funny about that? People that do that, they actually doing a big insult against his feast days. We're not supposed to keep the feast day with a dirty heart. Keep that in mind. Did you hear me? We're not supposed to invite a deity in the feast days, especially Passover. No. We're supposed to have a clean heart. When you pray to the Father, you gotta have a clean heart, a clean mind. Okay? That's a good verse. Now, let's do another one. Same book. And let's check out let's see here. Okay, so let's go to the same chapter and let's go to verse 4. Very good word. Very good verse I'm cooking up here. They that leave the Torah or forsake it, okay, praises the wicked. Okay, so we know that's talking about people that worship different deities, bow down to deities, right? They hate the Torah of Yahuwah, right? But such as God the Torah argues with them. Remember I said earlier that when people worship these things and they get the Torah, they will argue with you. They have a side effect. They have this menopausal attitude. They have a second attitude. Like I said earlier about relationships. You may have a situation where a woman may get pregnant. She may be tripping. And she gets child support. Your heart about because she won't leave Catholicism. You say you would. She wants you to leave yours. She wants you to Catholicism. It's just something. There's always something good on it. Right? Side effects. So that's called the spirit of bitterness. So Satan will make you become bitter when you meet somebody that's righteous for you, but then you won't leave your wickedness. How can you operate a relationship? Okay. So once again, they that forsake the Torah praise the wicked. All right. But such as God the Torah, okay, contends with them. Contend means to argue. Okay. Let's continue in Proverbs. Proverbs do some good cover with this subject. Okay, about prayer. Okay. Okay. Proverbs 21, verse 23. Another good verse here. Another good verse. So this may not kind of focus on prayer, but if we look at it, it's focused on a verbalization of prayer. Well, kind of similar, but it says, whoso guard his or her mouth, okay, and his or her tongue, guards the spirit from troubles. Okay, so this is about praying to Yahuwah, you guard your tongue. But on the contrary, people talk to Creator foolishly. We're not supposed to do that. And let me explain that. We got people, they speak vain repetitions. Like, Father, thank you for this day. Father, I should bless me with $1 million. Father, thank you. You know, I had a great time with this prostitute last night. The sex was great. You know, Father, give me $1 million. Really? You think Yahuwah's going to hear what you just said? You thanking him for a woman you made love to last night, and she's just a prostitute, and you asking him to give you $1 million twice, and you think that prayer is okay to him? Foolishness. Very futile. Evil prayer. That's not guarding. You not guarding your mouth. You praying with foolishness. And see, people like that, you know, they haven't had experience with being taught right. So they just think that Yahuwah is a slot machine or a bank or something or some type of genie from Egypt. No. Okay? No. I'm supposed to talk to the Father anyway. Okay? You gotta be careful with that. You gotta guard our mouth. We ask for it.
Let me teach you. There's going to be a part 2 with this fella, so watch out for that. So prayer next Sabbath here. We almost finished right now. It's over 2 hours. That's good. Bob, yeah, hopefully you can hear me, brother. Again, I appreciate it. Maybe next time I go in the room, so hopefully you can hear, because I think you heard us better when it was in our when I was in our room. So yeah, just so you know about that. Proverbs 3:31. Proverbs 3:31. It says, "Envy not the oppressor." This is a very good one. Envy not the oppressor, not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. So we know envy means desire to compare yourself to someone out of jealousy, to be like the person. So we know oppressor is who? Who do you think about when you think about? Who do you know when you think about oppressors? You got pastors, right? Spiritual oppressors. You have priests, spiritual oppressors, right? You have um, people that's into the black ball, the black magic 8 ball, spiritual oppressor. Your soothsayer, spiritual oppressor. Your necromancer, spiritual oppressor. So when you envy, do you not learn how to pray of them? Yes, you learn how to pray of them. Not to do that. It's dangerous. Okay, it's very dangerous. We're not to do that. Okay, it says to choose none of his or her ways, but the problem is people do choose the ways of them. We got people that worship Satan. We were in there next Shabbat. People do that. You have more details on that problem. That's scary. We have people that say, "Yeah, I worship Satan. I think he's a great God." I think that's spooky that people say that. Okay, we were dealing with that next Shabbat. That's a very high witchcraft mindset. We don't want to think like that, fam. We don't want to play with fire. Okay, we don't want that. We don't want to put gasoline in a fire because they fire like this. Can make it worse. Make it definitely undistinguishable. We don't want that. Okay, we want to repent and get it right with the Father. He's given us chances, fellas. Don't procrastinate and waste time. Okay, please learn how to talk to the Father. Get yourself together. Okay, and wake up. Okay. Until then, shalom, guys. Different ending.